We are pretending to be two air traffic controllers. Flight 29 preparing for takeoff. That's the camera there.
God help you.
You can look there or you can look there. So, yeah, really.
Okay.
Two air traffic controllers, two Italian air traffic controllers as we're drinking wine. Flight 19, ready for takeoff.
I got one of the heads of the 5 families here, Sal.
All right, thanks for being the Godfather.
He does an awful Marlon Brando. Absolutely ridiculous. Or, well, see, when I was a kid in New York, his friends would not call him Salvatore. His friends would say, "Hey, Sally."
Also, they call him Torrido.
What?
Torrido.
What's Torrido?
Torrido. Salvatore. Torrido. Non mi capisci?
No.
Non capisci? You don't understand Italian.
I don't understand what you're saying, okay?
And then we have
I'm so confused.
Well, this interview is 50 years in the making, and it was an offer I can't refuse.
It's been a while since 2019, the last time that I was here. And I'll tell you what's terrible, those years with coronavirus or whatever. It's just terrible. But I'm glad that everything maybe is over.
Yeah,
I hope so.
We had planned on doing this some years ago, and it's time. So, when I was a kid in New York, real brief, I remember, because my dad's name is Salvatore, but I remember as a kid way back, some of his friends would not call him Salvatore. Some of his friends would say, "Hey, Sally." So you guys can call him Salvatore, Sally.
No, wait a minute. They call me Torrido. Capisci?
No, I don't understand.
You don't understand.
Torrido. That sounds like a disease.
You know what? We have a problem over here already from the beginning because I don't speak English. If you don't speak Italian, therefore, what are we doing here now?
I guess we'll have to fake it.
We gotta
fake
it out.
Godfather.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's see
All
what
right.
happens. Okay, there we go.
All right. So, all jokes aside, it's great to see my dad again. The last time we saw each other was
I'm very happy to be here.
it was 2019.
Yeah.
All right. This is really about him and not about me. No technology talk for today.
Okay.
That's for next time. Even if I wanted to talk technology, computers, and it would live to him. Okay. Let's go talk about. Let's go back late '60s, real brief. You were in a short-lived band called the Roman Rebellion.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And you wrote a few songs. You played the organ.
Right.
Okay. So if you search YouTube, and I'll try to find some links, put them below in the show notes, some YouTube links.
Right.
The 4 songs posted: "Every Groovy Day," "Missing You," "What's When Summer Brings" or "Summer Ends," and there's one more I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
The songs were written in the '60s, recorded in the '60s. They got that very '60ish Beach Boys sound, as it should. I like "Every Groovy Day." If you're feeling groovy on a Tuesday, you'll be feeling groovy on a Wednesday. Every day's a groovy day when you're in love.
Right.
It's cliche, but that's what it was back then. So,
Right.
so I know you guys did a brief tour with the band to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, the naval base. Some went in Puerto Rico. We went in Buchanan, Savannah Saker. And by the way, the song was written by the guitar player, the lead singer, Tommy Alessandro. He's from Brooklyn, New York. I believe he lived on Union Street and 4th Avenue.
Good memory.
Yeah, I still remember. Come on, I still, Anyway, we wrote the song, and our manager, if I remember, was Buddy Carroll. And it was also Bernie Lawrence, Steve Lawrence's brother, they were our manager. And we flew to Puerto Rico. We were at the naval base for a while, like I said before, and really had a great time. As I understand, I hear many people today doing the songs that we wrote. And it seems like the way I understand it's like they wrote the song, or they, anyway, the voice we hearing is Tommy Alessandro.
The band didn't last too long for personal reasons, but again, search YouTube for the Roman Rebellion band.
Right.
Search Every Groovy Day, and I'll try to find the links, put them below in the show notes. Okay.
Right.
Well, let's fast forward. The making of The Godfather. How did you get the job?
Okay, what happened, Carmine? I think it was late 60s, 69. The beginning of his 70s, if my memory helps me. They were talking about the Godfather. Was in the making of the Godfather. And there was this person, Edith McGuire. They said, listen, I think you should go try this. You should go audition for this film. And I said, me in a film, in a Godfather. Okay, anyway, she convinced me. She was sort of like a manager in the beginning. And I went to New York, I think it was on 42nd Street, where I met this person today also. It's not here any longer. And I really couldn't say it. I miss him so much. I miss him so much because where I am today, in all the movies that I worked in, probably I would never know anything about it. And I won't be here today to talk about it.
And that's how it started.
And was Louis
Louis DiGiamo.
Giamo. Then we moved to 54th Street. And this person really liked me so much, loved me so much, and trusted me to give me the key of his office. He was travel all over the world, and he left him over there to really take care of things. And Lo, I tell you, I really miss you. You made me laugh. You made me cry. You yelled. You screamed. And you know, Carmine, why he did all this yelling and scream? Because he wanted me to be a professional like he was. And today what I have to say is that whatever you are, Lou, you were in my heart. You are, and you will always be
That's
my
how
heart.
it started.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay,
That's
so
the Godfather.
So
yeah.
you were, I know, in a few scenes in The Godfather, and what was it like being on the set with Marlon Brando, James Caan, Al Pacino? I can go on and on and
Right.
on. So what was it like?
It was really great. It's really, this year at the wedding in Staten Island, the director comes over and he said, listen, what I want you two guys improvise a fight scene. Because in Italian weddings, it's like they've been known, as always been known, start a fight. And I said, yeah, that is no problem. We start to fight. We started a fight. Nobody knew anything about it. The director, he wanted that nobody would know anything about this. Suddenly we started a fight. Before you know, James Caan, also, I believe he's gone. He's dead. I'm sorry, he passed away too. He grabs from behind. And Robert Duvall also, he was there, I believe. And suddenly, he grabbed me so hard from behind that was hurting me. And I said, Jimmy, please let me go. You're hurting me. When finally I got free, I went for a chair. And probably I would have hit him over the head when everybody came and grabbed me. I don't know, maybe it was really that great because maybe they took it off the film, right?
I don't recall a fight scene in the wedding scene, right, in The Godfather. I'd have to look, but I think there's photos of you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Background. I got to find those. I'll see if I can post them here as we are talking.
Yes, it was when...
I don't recall that, so man, that was probably cut. Out of the final,
that was
version.
cut. But it's a scene when the lawyer Robert Duvall comes in when finds out Sonny finds out that his father's been shot. Was a really big scene with Rich Castellano, which really swam against the wall, and the whole building was shaking, and he was so mad that I was the gate at this point where
I remember that scene where Sonny, James Caan playing Sonny, gets off the phone with his sister.
Right.
Just got the sister and her husband, they got into a fight. She explains to Sonny. Sonny says something like, son of a bean, stay there.
Right.
He runs out to get the car. You were sitting down on the bench. Sonny turns to you and says, no, first he says to this guy, get the car. He
Right.
turns to you and he says, get off your ass.
Right, exactly.
My dad was the...
Also, another thing, what he wanted me, that was what he really wanted me to be his driver. And when they asked him, he said, listen, can you drive a stint shift? I said, I'm sorry, no, I can't. Really, I could try. But anyway, I still remain his bodyguard. And I really had really a great time.
So you could have had more scenes if you know how to drive a stick, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
If I knew how to drive this stand shift, I would have been all the way
Wow.
through the whole thing. Many more scenes I would
Wow.
have. But
Okay.
I'm very happy with
Good.
the small
Okay.
things I did. Yes.
All right. So my dad gave me a list. He was in over between 72 and 2004. You were in over almost 300 movies, right?
Yes, 290, something like this.
Okay.
But if we talk about all those movies, Carmine,
I
I
did
want
the
to clear.
math.
Right.
I did the math. If we were to spend a few minutes on each movie, we would be here 5 hours.
Right, but what I did, this movie is some small parts. I did a lot of with a car. With they trusted me. We did a lot of car scene stunts. It's what I did. Also, I used to stand in. We called. I was to set up all the scenes, and then the actor would come like on the Godfather 2.
Okay.
I think it was Godfather. Yeah, Godfather 2. I was Robert De Niro standing.
All right.
And
So
I would go there on the set,
Okay.
set up the whole thing. They
Okay.
want to come over,
Right.
and they would
Sure.
see me.
Right.
That's it. Yes.
So in Godfather 1, anything else that besides it was your first important role? Anything else? Anything funny? Anything unusual? Anything?
If I'm correct, there was a scene when Sonny went to pick up his sister, supposed to go to his sister, and there was a scene over there where he gripped a nightstick and he swung on his brother-in-law, I think it was. I was by the fire hydrant.
Yeah.
And
There's-
I think there almost was a
remember.
scene over there where I don't remember exactly
I
what
remember.
happened. It was when he threw out the stick. The
Something. He picked
Yo.
something off the street and
Right,
and throws
yeah.
it at his brother-in-law.
Right,
Yeah.
he threw right, and I thought he looked like it really hit him. So I don't know if
Maybe
he
he
really
did.
hit me.
I
Right,
don't
yeah.
know. Okay,
And
well,
the Godfather really. Beside that, there was a lot of great scene with Richie Castellano. They play Clemens. But as I
It
said,
was fun. It was a lot of
it was
fun.
a lot of fun.
A lot
I
of
have to
fun,
say,
okay.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. And, yeah, it happened. One thing in the film, the wedding, where Don Gennaro Amata, where I think was Don Gennaro, he was in singing. He had a. The
There-
teeth almost they fall off.
Really, oh man!
But it was
The-
really
the first-
funny. Was funny. Yeah.
The really Godfather 1 and 2 were classics. Many great lines in the first
Right.
one to make him an offer I can't
Yeah.
refuse.
Exactly.
He sleeps with the fishes.
Right. Even Godfather 2, I had a nice scene in it. I was set up all the scene here for Robert De Niro. But also I had a small scene with one stage. If you remember, this scene is there. We on stage dancing and singing and suddenly this guy receives a telegram from his mother. And he sits down and he wants to read the telegram. He's so happy that he received a telegram. And the telegram reads that the mother was dead. And that's this scene. He wants to shoot
I think I
himself.
remember,
I don't know
yeah.
if you
It's-
remember.
this is a
the
few years now,
me,
but yeah.
and a girl. So that's the scene really that
Okay.
I have.
Okay, so when you guys were making The Godfather 1, did you know, did Al Pacino know, did Robert De Niro know it was going to be a classic, or it was just a job?
Was just a job. I believe in 1970, if I'm correct. I was on Fifth Avenue and President Street, I think if I'm correct. And they were talking about it, said, listen, we're going to do the movie, but maybe we got to stop it because they had to straighten out a few things.
Yeah.
If you remember, that time to give it the okay, they could go ahead. They had some kind
Permit,
of agreement.
some kind of agreement, yeah.
Agreement with other things to which I want to go into to really go forward to the film.
There is a story.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, the story goes that when they started filming,
Right.
the real Godfather was not happy. This is years ago, but the real
Right.
Godfather wasn't happy because Paramount Studios
Yeah.
did not ask permission from the real Godfather if they could shoot.
Exactly.
Okay, so the story goes, and this is again, we're talking 50 some years ago. The story goes that during the process of shooting, and I think the shooting started in what, 70, 71?
71, I think it
71.
was. Yeah.
And it was finished in 72.
Yeah.
Okay.
The release, I think, in 72.
During
So-
shooting, or during the stages of shooting in those years, the real Godfather wasn't happy. So one day, the front gates of the Paramount Studios accidentally blew up to send a message that they did not ask permission. This is what I read somewhere. This may be.
That's what we read about. It's what we heard.
That's
We're
what
not
I read.
sure. Right.
Did
That's
not
why
ask
I
permission.
really.
Anyway, after that, there was some kind of talking deal struck, and the movie was made. Thankfully, again, I think it's somewhat of a funny story. Anyway, so the movie was made. So you guys did not know it was going to be so big and a
No,
classic. Okay.
I didn't. But you see, we were while we were showing the movie, they were talking about the scenes they were doing that sort of they felt that something real pretty big would happen, but nobody really ever imagined there would be such colossal film. One of the real
So they
unbelievable.
knew. So you guys knew it was good story, but
Yes.
you had no clue.
No.
It's,
Also, I have to say that also I'm in a Godfather 3 where I wrote a musical with Carmine, the father, Carmine Coppola.
Carmine Coppola. Okay.
Yeah, they call me. I was supposed to have also a small scene over there. And there was this song called Vicino a me, only me, something like this. But I tell the truth, I didn't see the Godfather 3, and I don't know if the music is in, but it's a song that I wrote with his
I
father.
did see Godfather 3. I thought the performances were great, Al Pacino and the rest, but
Yeah.
I think they took too long to make it. It was, Godfather 2 was 74.
Right, in 90,
1990 was Godfather 3. It didn't
exactly.
quite.
Right, it took too long, yes.
The best scene is when Al Pacino says, I tried to get out, but they pull me back in. Great
Yeah,
scene.
yeah,
but
yeah.
the movie, it's a heck of a movie, but it didn't quite have the effect,
Exactly.
I don't think, as one or
the
two.
first, that's what they're
I-
saying, is the best, really.
The first
one.
and
That's
one
really-
and two were great.
But really, we had a great time. Carmine was just unbelievable. And things that happened when, as I said before, Sonny found out that the father was shot. He grabs Richie. Unbelievable. He threw it against the wall. The whole wall. I think the whole house was coming down.
Who knows how many
So-
scenes were cut out of the...
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
any kind of bloopers and
Right, yes.
people, who knows, farting
yeah.
or burping after drinking the too much wine.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
so it was a special moment.
Beautiful, a lot of food all over. They eat it all day long from early in the morning.
Oh,
till
Italian and food, what a surprise.
Man, I
Ooh.
tell you, yeah.
Okay, so you had fun, Godfather 2 and 3. Anything special or unusual in Godfather 2 and 3 that sticks out, or
No,
just the
really,
usual?
the Godfather 2, what I did was a really super experience, because I was there doing all the scene that Robert De Niro did. I was there to set up those scenes
Okay.
way before. Suddenly, I found myself. They were asked. They needed someone that. The way that was dancing, and they were supposed to dance on that stage. They said, "Well, who could do those steps?" So they come over to me and said, "Come on, you can." I said, "Well,
All right.
yes, I can."
Of course.
Right, right.
Did you ever get hurt in the Godfather 1, 2, or 3?
No, Godfather 1, yes, when Sonny grabbed from behind. But Godfather 1 and 2 and 3, no, I didn't get real hurt. Another film, Badge 373, that really, I really
Badge
run my car.
373,
Yeah, I
that's
run
the
my
movie.
car, right. And taint even against the wall, but that's beside
So
the
this is
point.
movies back in the 70s.
Yeah,
Badge
yeah, I think so.
373.
Yeah.
There's films that were filmed in New York. Badge 373, a movie with Roy Scheider, who later would become famous with Jaws. The 7-Ups.
7-Ups. I've worked on
The
the
7-Ups.
7-Ups.
Again, these are titles coming back to when I was a kid, I remember. I have to tell you this about Godfather 2. I remember as a kid, and I think this is right, you took me to the premiere of Godfather 2
Right.
at the Paramount Theater in New
Right,
York.
in New
I
York,
don't
yeah.
know if it's there.
I think it's still there. I don't know. Yeah.
I think I remember being forced to get dressed up in a suit. I don't know, what was I, 12 then, or 13? I was like, really? No, I had no clue of the importance of
Right.
these films.
Yeah.
And a suit.
Usually that's what they do. They dress
Went to
up
the
and all they put
theater,
a red carpet. And so,
And I remember watching it, and I remember, man, this movie's long. Now, I could have been sitting next to Al Pacino, didn't give a crap. I'm not saying I was,
Right.
but I was a kid,
Yeah.
street kid. I don't want to be dressed as a suit.
No, yeah.
but that's all I remember. But I do remember a very emotional film, even back then. Being dressed up in a suit and like that, it was packed, and I don't know if any movie stars were there. Probably were, and I didn't give a crap. No offense,
No.
but that's all I remember. All right.
Anyway,
So let's move on past
Move on.
Godfather 1, 2, and 3. So you did other movies, 70s, 80s, and let's go.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
fast forward to the 80s.
Fall in Love, I think was.
I don't remember falling in love, but okay.
I think. Hey, Al, I think it's what was Fall in Love. But anyway, if I'm making a mistake, forgive me and don't get pissed off at me. Okay, I'm your friend. Anyway, this film we were in Grand Central. I think it was. He was coming down this running, and maybe I was lucky really to be there, and him too, because as you were running down, he tripped, and here I was there. I grabbed him, and they looked at me, and they said, "Thank you." I remember this. Oh, thank you, Robert. But in my mind, I said,
Who is
"Well,
this? This is Robert
Robert De Niro."
Robert De Niro?
Right. So, but anyway, we're going on because we did quite a few films with Robert De Niro. Was like in the Bronx Tale. I think you got to show the
The Bronx
picture.
Tale is good.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
It's a scene where
that was the 90s.
yeah, I think they threw something. There's a bookstore, whatever it was, and everything was thrown out of the place, including and that was actually in the middle of the street. Dead. Charles Palmer.
In the Bronx Tale.
In the Bronx Tale.
The actor Chaz Palminteri,
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
Palminteri.
right.
Sorry, Chaz. If you
Right,
watch this.
sorry, but anyway, I don't. You remember what you did, Charles? You came over, you left whatever was I was covered with, and you said, "Are you still alive?" And they said, "What do you mean I'm still alive?" Of course, you know why I'm alive. I'm still alive, and they said, "Why?" Because I didn't finish my job. And he smiled.
That
Yeah,
was
right.
a blooper. That's an outtake. It's a heck of a story. That was in the 90s.
Yeah, right.
Are
No.
you dead yet? No.
No, because why? Because I didn't finish my job.
There you go.
I don't know which way you're talking. I mean, I was, yeah.
That's
but anyway,
funny. It's funny.
Anyway, wherever you are, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Dustin Hoffman, all those guys, listen, here I am in America again. Por this
You
time I'm
keep
in
slamming the table, moving the camera. See, this is the time we got to talk with our hands.
That is,
you know.
with the Italians, they talking with their hands.
Well,
you
don't slam
understand?
the table anymore.
I'm
Gee,
sorry.
geez,
Okay,
geez.
don't get mad at me and don't throw me out of your office. Okay, what are you think you are?
Listen, you're in my. I make an offer you can't refuse, and you slam my table. Come
And
on.
if I refuse,
I'll leave.
that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, where
where
we're
are
going
we
from
here?
here?
Okay, so 1980s. You sent me a picture for the movie The Money Pit with you and Tom Hanks. What's
Okay.
Because Tom Hanks was here last year in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He crashed a wedding party, by the way. I heard. Funny. So what was he did.
Yeah.
What was Tom Hanks? like?
Great, really, I really enjoyed the work. Each and every one of them. Money Pit, I think was a scene where they were building this, building a big house.
I don't
or
remember the
whatever it was.
movie, but
Yeah, I tell the truth, I don't remember exactly the whole thing. I have pictures which.
What was
you
Tom
can show.
Hanks like? Do you remember anything with him? Or
Yes, no, great. I tell you, really, all the guys that I worked with, I had really a great time. I can't say anything, but really, they all one better than the other.
okay.
They were really great.
Sounds
Also, speaking also about 29th Street, we jump one thing to another, with Danny Aiello, Vinny Pastore, Tony Zarico,
Okay.
but with 29th Street, we did in
Okay.
North Carolina. And
That
I
movie.
tell you, also I had a
Okay.
great time.
Very
Yeah.
good. Okay. What about working with Joe Pesci? Like
That's
Goodfellas?
on 29th Street. That's what I'm telling you. That guy, it's unbelievable. I had such a great time with him. That's always funny. Sometimes, he says some of the things that even if you don't want to laugh, you start laughing. Really?
Just by looking at him.
Right.
Hi, Joe
right,
Pesci.
Right. Great, yes.
Funny. All right, let's talk about one of the well-known movies in the 90s, Donnie Brasco, working with the young Johnny Depp.
Okay, Johnny Depp. Okay, Danny Brasco. I will go again with Louis DiGiamo and also another good friend that I don't remember the name. Let's put it this way. A great friend that if you hear me, I will let you know that I will never forget you. every time I used to step in the office, I was wondering in the beginning, wait a minute, you wouldn't talk so much until the 80s. When in 1990s, finally we started talking about Danny Brasco. I don't know if you know that took many years to do Danny Brasco.
I that was 96, 90.
90,
I
right.
know it has a young
Okay.
Johnny Depp.
Right, yes. And what
I don't
happened there,
much, yeah.
Lou DiGiamo, he trusted me so much. Also, he said to me, Sal, said, well, why don't you help me out with the casting? He used to send me around to really looking for actors and all that. And that really, Danny Brasco, I had such a great time. It's unbelievable.
All the actors were fine.
All
From
the
work,
actors,
all of them?
yes, I really,
Okay.
it's unbelievable.
No, I can feel it in your emotion. It's
Low,
it's pretty
really,
obvious.
it's
yeah.
low because without him, I was really nothing. Nobody would know anything about me. I would just probably because I worked as a mechanic. I worked as a musician.
Normal job.
Yes, a normal job. But if it wasn't for Lou, I would never have been an actor. And still, I say thank you, Lou and Danny Brasco. Also, when we did Sleepers, I think it was.
Sleepers with
Yeah.
Robert De Niro,
Robert-
Dustin Hoffman.
Right. Also, that movie, Lou said to me, says, Sal, who you want to give you the extra casting? I mean, he made me feel like I don't know. I have no words for.
I know,
for
no, I know,
him
I know.
really
It was,
to
it was,
trust
it's
me.
almost like a family.
Right, exactly. When we did Molly Dodd and all that, did all the casting, and
Okay.
yeah, I helped
So you
them
met
all with it.
all these people that
Yeah.
you work with. They were all good to be with. I do remember moving on real quick because we're, like I said, this could be a 5-hour show.
Right.
The Devil's Advocate.
Yes,
You was in that?
The Devil's Advocate, yes. But if you ask me really what I did, I don't know if I drove a car, if I did a stunt, those
Okay.
small scenes like
Small
this. I
scene.
would
You were
say.
like an extra.
Yes, Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino, right? I had, wait a minute, I was one of the juror. I was right in front.
Okay.
And if you see the movie, when
It's been a while.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
I have a small scene. I'm one of the juror,
Okay.
and I believe at the time the director, I don't know, the director said one thing, and the assistant AD said a different thing. He came and told us really what to do because I don't know if I was in the first or second row, and he specifically told me what to do, and here I am. I did, and the next thing. It was a small one over there. He said, well, don't do that again. I said, but wait a minute. I was told to do this. And but I really had a great time. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You retired in 2004-ish,
Okay, what
around
happened?
there. So
Yes.
the last movies, the big movie that would have been Spider-Man 2?
Yeah,
That was the
what
last one you did, maybe?
Maybe.
If it was shot in New York.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And that I remember what I did. I said some car driving,
Okay.
this stuff,
Okay.
stuff like this,
Okay.
really. I think it was 2004. And probably I could have done many more things much better. But what happened on the job that I had, worked as a mechanic a little bit, I got hurt. And because my back actually stopped me to doing many things. It's the day that my back. Sometimes I can't move, but I really I did a lot of great things. Yes.
Okay.
I did a lot of great things thanks to the people.
There's a movie coming out this September with Denzel Washington called The Equalizer 3. I just got word of the preview. I saw it.
I
It's
worked-
filmed in Italy, in Sicily, by the way.
Yeah.
So you were with,
I worked in Equalizer.
Which one? You worked on the Equalizer, the first
Yes,
one?
I got to see on the first one. I think if you look on the sketch and the thing over there I wrote, I think it was the Equalizer one that I worked.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Denzel.
I did. I just seen also with Denzel Washington. I think it was the preacher's wife. I almost forgot. We were filming up in the Bronx.
I don't think I saw the preacher's
Okay,
life, but okay.
It's a scene where they asked me, they were looking for someone that really knows how to drive well, and they trusted. He said, Sally, you're to do a nice scene. I said, what kind of scene? He said, you got to drive. You're Denzel Washington's driver. Like, what I got to do? So the camera was like over here, all the way here.
I think Denzel is calling. I have to decline the call. Sorry, Denzel. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, hi Denzel. Hi. Yeah. Anyway, here they telling me that they set up with a camera. I'm come from there in this hotel. I'm driving like I don't know how many miles an hour, and I gotta stop right over in the front of the camera. And they said, "Hey, make sure." They said that you stop. Don't come running and really you're going to kill everybody. I said, well, I'm not worried killing everybody. I'm worried if I'm getting killed. He said, you're perfect. Things
A lot
for me
again,
big.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of stories. We won't bore
Yeah.
you with everything. Like I said, he was in almost 300 movies. We
Yeah.
can't. We're not going to do a 5 hours. I don't think you'd want to. But needless to say, it's a unique story going from the hills of Italy with the goats
Oh, speaking
to,
about that,
to
really.
the Godfather.
Carmen, well, you didn't do that, but I did. I was up in the country, this small place called Belmonte Calabro. Not even 3,000 people, but I wasn't living in the city. I was up in the mountains. I was over there where
Clean air,
at the time it was like a
nature.
500 people. What I was doing, actually worked the
Very
land,
healthy.
the vineyard. Yes,
Very
yes,
healthy, very
As a matter of
healthy.
fact, that's where I'm back. I'm back over there.
Well, full circle.
Right. Well, I tell you, I tell you, Carmine. You know why I went back up there? Because if I'm going to the gym, I have to pay. And I said, well, what are you living for? You think it's a joke?
Best gym is the hills and the work with the animals.
Exactly. I said, well, listen,
Nah,
I got to go pay.
Makes sense.
I got to pay them.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
So anyway, what I decided to do, I said, well, I'm going to go up in the hills over where I was born, like this. I don't
It
have to
makes
pay
sense.
a penny.
It makes
Right.
sense.
That's it.
All right.
Anyway.
So let's fast forward.
What are we going on here?
All right. 2011.
2011.
We were talking, and you were retired for almost 9 years or something like that. And I'm gonna produce a movie. I'm like, what? I'm gonna. I said, what do you mean? You were having health problems at the time. That I remember.
Yes.
2011.
Yes.
And I tried to convince you, don't do it. You were going to do a movie about an Italian concentration camp.
Right.
I'm like, I'll be honest, I wasn't excited. Another thing about a concentration, you see on History Channel and so on. We all know the stories. I could not convince him not to do it. He says, whatever happens, happens. And I kind of let it go. Because, look, when you get two Italian capotuostos, hard-headed Italians together, the result is concrete. However, concrete is slightly more flexible than two Italian heads.
Right.
He says, no, son, I'm going to do it. Okay.
Two Italian heads, but a maybe different. Who knows who's got a harder head,
I-
me or you?
All I'm saying
the only
is-
way we're going to find out, somebody get a sledgehammer,
Yeah.
and they're going to hit you first.
No, thank you.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. Let's stop.
Well, look,
the joke.
okay,
Right.
all
Let's
right.
go to.
All right, so I let it go. I let it go. So I didn't want to hear it. I was concerned about it. It's his house. So I let it go. Let's fast forward to 2017, and some of you guys know the story. 2017, he comes. Hey, the movie's almost done. I have a trailer to show you. Well, the movie was called Ferramonte.
Ferramonte, yeah.
You can search it.
Concentration
An
camp.
Italian concentration
It's a
camp,
true
not far
story.
from where he lives.
Right.
But they changed
About
it.
an hour away, yeah.
They changed it to La Croce e la Stella. The
And you know why we
cross and the
changed it
star.
to La-
It's the merging of two religions at the time
Right.
with two
the
different
Jewish
cultures.
religion and the
Okay.
Italian, yeah.
So we're in the car. My friend Richard is driving, and we're talking. He says, "Yeah, I have a trail. He has a trailer, rough cut trailer with subtitles." I'm like, "Okay." And it was called Ferramonte, but it's not now.
Right.
La Croce, La Cross, and the Star. I'm like, "Okay." So this is back 2017. I'm like, "Okay." And has anybody seen it? Again, I don't know much about it because I wasn't too happy about it. Him doing it.
Right.
He survived, thank God, during the filming.
Yeah.
He says, "Yeah, the Vatican wants to see it." The
Right.
Vatican in Rome, like there's more than one Vatican.
Right.
The Vatican? Yeah, really. Okay, why? Then he told me the story, and I'm like, and when he told me, it clicked immediately. Hollywood has not told the story, meaning there was an Italian concentration camp
Right.
that saved the Italians. They saved the lives of approximately 4,000 Jews. Not
3,000.
a single
3,000.
three. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a single one got killed by the Nazis. Not a single one. Now, some died of accidental deaths of malaria.
Well, nobody got killed, but
It was
that doesn't mean
disease.
nobody died because of the
Yeah.
malaria, they call
Right.
it. A lot of people died, yes.
Nobody was murdered.
Yes,
I guess,
exactly.
But nobody died at the hands of the Nazis.
Yes.
Not a single person died at the hands of the Nazis. But there
Right.
was malaria. I think there was an accidental shooting from an Allied plane.
Yes, the Americans, they come.
It was an accident.
Right, it was an accident, they didn't know, yes.
But in terms of the normal,
Yeah.
whatever you describe, normal, the usual historical significance of deaths at a camp, not a single person died at the hands of the Nazis. Not a single one, thanks to the Italians. I'm like, I didn't know that. Now we got a story, because you guys don't know it. At the time, I never heard. We all know the stories of concentration camps. I'm like, well, that's very interesting. That's no wonder the Vatican likes it, because the Italians were heroes.
Right.
So I saw the trailer. I'm like, that was very rough cut. It wasn't quite, but I kind of got my Italian is now fluent, but the subtitles helped. The first thing that got to me was the music. I'm like, dang, that is
Sandro
the
Di
best.
Stefano, yes.
Sandro Di Stefano is the composer. It is the best Italian soundtrack since The Godfather. Seriously. Once I
Great.
heard the music, it's so
Great.
angelic. I mean, amazing piece. Academy Award stuff for the music. 100% agree. I saw the entire film with the music. Dad wrote 2 songs. God Guide Us was the first
Dio
song.
Guidaci Tu, right.
And Dio Guidaci Tu.
yeah,
And
Io
I love
ti
you
amo
truly.
veramente.
I truly love you.
I truly
He wrote.
love you, right.
That's that end of the movie.
And actually, Dio Guidaci Tu tells a real story about, because with that, we're nowhere. We can't go nowhere. If God is not there to help us.
Without love, basically.
Right, without love,
Right,
that's
without
it.
love. God equals love.
Right,
And
yes.
it was the Italians' love for humanity and all people to save these people.
Yeah.
But the soundtrack, and I'll play a clip here in a moment, a trailer for the film, but the soundtrack really is Oscar caliber. In fact, after one of my friends saw the full trailer, he called me. He says, Carmine, oh my God, the music, I explained it was Sandro Di Stefano. So it affected a lot of people here who saw the trailer and heard at least pieces of the soundtrack. It really is majestic.
E gli imperi si conquistano con le armi, ma si tengono col prestigio. E per il prestigio occorre una chiara, severa coscienza razziale che stabilisca non soltanto delle differenze, ma delle superiorità nettissime. Il problema ebraico è dunque un aspetto di questo fenomeno. L'ebraismo mondiale è stato durante 16 anni, malgrado la nostra politica, un nemico irreconciliabile del fascismo.
Magnificent, angelic, the harmonies, the choir. Sandro,
Yes.
you deserve an Oscar for the soundtrack.
Yeah,
And if we can ever find a distributor for the film in the States, I think the movie will make Sandro famous in the States. Well deserved.
He's
Absolute. I had a chance to speak with him. Absolute natural talent for film music. Again, once you hear the music, the soundtrack is It truly is a magnificent piece of work.
I want to say also one thing, Carmen. I want to say something about the director.
Yes.
Okay, I tell you, a director really didn't do many movies. He didn't have much experience.
should
But what I have
mention
to do, he
yeah,
did.
yeah.
He
His
did
name is Salvatore Lopiano.
Lopiano, right? He did a really
Lopiano.
great job. And for him to search the truth about this film, and when he came over to me and they said, "Listen, we're going to do this in Belmont, Calabro, because we built also most of the concentration camp wasn't built in Belmont, Calabro, province of Cosenza."
Yeah, this
And when Sal approached me and he told me about this concentration camp, I tell you, actually, I went into debts. Money that I didn't have, but
this was a passion project.
I want to tell the story
yeah.
because Carmine,
I know.
I hear Adele still today. They say, never again. What happened
back then? Yeah.
in the Second World War? And I said to myself, well,
In
it's nothing. Just saying never again.
Yeah.
Just to say it's easy.
even today.
Let's do the fact.
Yeah.
Let's really say and do it with a fact. And that's what I did, Carmine.
I know.
I said, I want to tell the story, and at least I can say that I didn't do just saying. I did something about it to tell the world that what happened shouldn't happen again.
It's a timeless story of human beings, in this case Italians, risking their lives to save
the Jews.
to save strangers.
Right.
We should say briefly that, without spoiling too much, the movie takes place in modern day 2017,
Right.
1940 to 43. Basically, it's two stories interwoven. It travels back in time, and then at that time, this is another true story. A child was born who was Jewish at the time, grows up to be a Catholic priest.
But what happened?
He never knew he was Jewish.
They couldn't. They his child.
It's
but the woman was a Catholic, and the man was a Jewish. So what happened? The baby, they had to give it away.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he wouldn't get killed.
Right.
And what happened is that this priest, like you were saying, this child becomes a priest.
It's, if you search something like the Forgotten Children of the Holocaust or something. I'm not an expert on history,
and imagine,
by the way,
Carmine,
but something like that.
Imagine when the priest, after he said the mass, he comes out of the church. He suddenly sees this kid coming running, out of breath. He said, "Are your father such and such?" He said, "Yes, why?" They go into the church, and he tells the priest. He said, "Wait a minute.
The Catholic priest is actually Jewish. And didn't
right."
know.
And that takes
that's the
takes off of where he
yeah.
wants to know really who he is.
That's the journey of the film, where the priest is on a journey for the truth about his life. He questions himself, he questions God. And I won't spoil the ending, except to say this, and we'll end this soon. In real life, all the prisoners were released. It has a happy ending. So the movie has a happy ending because it happened in real life. And it's I think the Italian cultural ministry of films, whatever, they gave it a G rating. Think of the movie as a low-key Schindler's List, a lower budget Schindler's List. It's for everyone.
We were at Villa Torlonia, and
that was a private screening in Torlonia.
Right. Also, when we went to Montecitorio, the Parliament,
the Italian Parliament,
for things they were saying, and why? Because in the end, finally, when they told me to go on stage, there was the director, and what he said, the producer has something, maybe you want to say a couple words. And I want to thank them very much. Yes, why not to say I'm the producer? But I would rather be known as that's what I told on stage, be known as the person that really willing to tell the world, not with words, but with facts. Never again what happened in 1940 in the Second World War. They don't know nothing.
They do now.
About the concentration camp. And listen to this.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest concentration camp in Calabria.
Yeah.
That's
now
it,
they
Calabria. Now they know.
One last thing here, because almost an hour out.
Yeah, Carmine.
Last year, the biggest movie was Top Gun Maverick with Tom Cruise. You were the top? You went to Tom Cruise movies? 1 or 2 movies?
Yes.
The Vanilla Sky.
Yeah, Vanilla Sky. What I did, Vanilla Sky. I tell
Did you ever meet Tom, or you just were on the set?
No, no.
You met Tom?
Yeah.
So what was he? Seems like he has a nice sense of humor. What was he
No,
like?
no, great. As I said before, each and every actor, I had no problem. All them, the people were really
They were
so
all
friendly.
nice.
Right. I tell you, I made like maybe if you ask me the people between one and the other, like a Al Pacino, Eremo sat back, like with a big smile, Robert De Niro so much so, like the way he was
I
talking,
understand.
but they're all great
They
guys.
were all great?
All great, because if you would approach them,
Okay.
they would say, no, don't
They
bother
would talk
me.
to you, have a cup of
Yeah,
coffee, whatever.
absolutely.
Well, I just wanted to mention that because the Top Gun 2, Top Gun
Hey,
Maverick
listen to this.
took
What happened
almost
in
10 years to
Mickey
make.
Blue Eyes?
Yeah.
Johnny, what's his name? He come over and he said, "Hey Salvatore, can you say the words congratulations?" I said, "Yeah, I think I can." Because
Okay.
no, he got married, right? And the film, he said, "No, but I'm telling you, they come on with a joke." And he looked around and he said, "Ah, yo, Sal, right? Yes, Sal Pate. Yes,
Okay.
come over here. Let me hear how to say saying congratulations." I said, "Congratulations." It was all really great guys to work with them. And I'll tell you something that happened a while ago. They placed me a call in Italy, and they said, "Sal, how you doing?" "I'm okay." He said, "Are you standing up or you sitting down?" "Why?" He said, "Well, I got a couple of things to tell you." And they start with Tony Sirico is gone, with this guy is gone, and the other's gone, and suddenly said, "I said, what else?" I said, he said, "Well, even your friend, James Caan." He said, "No longer."
All the greats, yeah.
Unbelievable. When he said that James Caan really
Yeah.
was gone, I said to that person, I said, "Oh, well, there's left only one person, and all of them, all the gang that couldn't shoot straight, all the ones together, we worked all time, because Robert De Niro actually would get almost the same people all the time." I said, "It's left to one person to go." And who's that? He says, "That's me." Because everybody else is gone. Come on. Carlo Carlei. I was in your office, and you said to me, "Sal, listen to me. Be careful." Anyway, for that word, what I have to say, I really learned a lot also from you, Carlo. And I want to thank you so much. He did a lot of movies, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
He did a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And I tell you, for a person to be a director, to be sort of like a normal. Like when I went in his office, they said,
There's a
"Listen
lot
to me,
of-
be careful."
and
Carlo,
this-
again,
yeah.
thank you so much.
There's a lot of
Thank you.
amazing stories
Yeah.
out there, and not just my dad, but all the others who are in the type of business. I'll just say this. Top Gun 2, Top Gun Maverick was my favorite movie last year, and I haven't seen it's a good story. And Tom Cruise, if you're watching this, give him a call, because I can see it now when the movie comes out. This film was saved by Tom Cruise.
Oh, wow. What great. Yeah, right. Hi, Tom. Hi, everybody. And really, once again, thank you all. And hope you all stay well, whatever. And hope to meet each other again
I hope
one of
you
those
guys
days.
enjoy this.
I miss all you
yeah.
guys, from the smallest to the biggest or whatever. I had a really great time. I had a great time with all of you. And thank you.
I think we should let the people go because they got to go to business, and we got to show respect to the family here, right, Pop? And,
Exactly.
Sound like you're falling asleep. I'll do the Godfather.
Okay, you do the Godfather.
it's enough. We can refuse.
And you know what? You're doing that job very good. You said, I think for the next Godfather, they should call you.
Godfather for I can do the voiceover.
Right. Good. I don't know how to do the Godfather. Just about remember I know how to do Sal Page.
Right now, I think we'll do lunch.
What? We do lunch, and then one thing is left. Last thing that we should say. Dobbiamo dire perché tu non parli l'italiano. Io non parlo
we gotta
l'inglese.
say it because we don't speak the languages. That's
Okay,
what
so what do we gotta say? You don't speak Italian. We'll say words in Italian. Let me see what you're saying.
I can't say that.
Vaffanculo un'altra cosa tu. Vede che sto caccia mi ha mandato a fa. No, mi ha mandato you send me to do some cooking, maybe. No,
I don't speak fluent Italian.
Right.
I could understand it just enough to butcher it.
Right. But now, don't you think that I should apologize for my English after so many years?
Oh, they love you anyway.
Really?
See, I went to
If
school.
he said it,
I went to school to study broken Italian. He went to school to study broken English, and it's perfect.
Anyway, ciao everybody. Until next time from Stompineville, Ohio. And let's see, I'll be over here for another few days. Let's try also for maybe Pittsburgh if we could get somebody with a good heart. Maybe we could get also the distribution for the film La Croce alle Stelle. Then I'm leaving for New York. I should be in Atlantic City for a day or two. Also ICN, the radio with Anthony Pasquale. Anthony, if you're listening to, well, I hope that maybe we switch either Friday or Saturday, because Sunday
You can tell
go
he's
back to Italy.
you can tell he's an actor. He won't stop talking.
Sei sempre tu, Santa Regina della luce in questa terra. Io ti amo. Io ti amo. Io non ti vedo, ma lo so che sei sempre qui con me. Io ti amo. Io ti amo. Guidaci in questa lunga strada che non so dove andare senza te. Guidaci in questo grande mondo che è difficile seguire senza te.